Hey guys, so from the title you can see what this video is about. If you are going through something like this right now, you've just found out you're pregnant, or you've been feeling like this since having the baby, or you can relate to this on any kind of level, I hope this video will help you, because this is what I felt like when I first became pregnant. And I have now, 7 months down the line after having the baby, I can say that I'm kind of figured out how I've kind of got back to myself, and I'm going to tell you guys how I've done that. So I'm hoping that this will be helpful to those of you who might be feeling like this. When I felt like this, when I first got pregnant and this sense of loss of identity came over me, I googled it and I researched loads to see if other people have felt like this, or if I could find information on it, and there was really nothing out there. So I really felt like I wanted to make this video just to hopefully help any of you guys that may be feeling like this, whether you've just found out that you're pregnant, you're, you know, fully into your pregnancy, you've just had a baby, or you're thinking about having a baby, or if you're none of those things but you know, you may be having a baby in the future and this is just an interesting topic to you. You might find this something to think about, and you know, and hopefully I will be able to help some of you, and show you and tell you how I've overcome that sense of that loss of identity feeling. If you guys don't watch me usually, then my name is Nisha, I'm 38 years old, and I have a baby called Lola who's now 7 months old, and I work in advertising in London. When I first found out I was pregnant, I had this really overwhelming feeling. I was actually in a hotel room in New York when I suspected I was pregnant, and I started having all these feelings and thoughts, and I was like, oh my goodness, like this sense of loss of identity like went over me. I'd never ever thought about this. I'd never ever even, this is not even something I'd even heard of, thought of, come across, heard anyone else talk about. So I was really like confused why I was feeling like this. Like I was just going to become a mom, like someone's mom. Was that all I was going to be known as? And you know, obviously there's nothing wrong with being known as someone's mom, but I'd built up a life, and that, you know, I work in London, I get to travel, I make YouTube videos, I love fashion, and you know, I go to the gym, I'm known as someone that's like really into fitness. And all of a sudden I was going to be growing a baby, my body was gonna, I was going to lose control of my body, I was going to lose control of my kind of my life, I was going to be taken over by a baby. And I was just like, whoa, like this is actually really scary. Like who am I? Like am I just, you know, all these things that I've done to build up this lifestyle that I really like and enjoy, and you know, and things that I'm seen as, I will no longer be seen as, and I'd worked so hard to, you know, be those things. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. Like I just was really confused how I was feeling. Also, another thing that I found was, you know, where I am such an independent, strong woman, you know, I'm an events manager, and I'm happy to lift heavy boxes, and I'm not someone that, you know, needs to sit down on the train. But all of a sudden people were getting up for me and giving me a seat on the train, and it made me feel like, you know, am I less able or someone that needs help? And I was just like, that's not me. And it kind of made me feel like panicky, because it was like, that's not me. I mean, I took the seat because I needed to protect the baby. Of course the baby is my #1 priority, but these are the kind of thoughts and feelings that were going through my head, and I needed to ask for a lot more help at work, for people to like carry boxes and you know, do more physical stuff for me, which is not me at all, because I do all the physical stuff myself. So all these things were really kind of affecting my mental well-being, and I was starting to feel like, oh, I'm really losing myself. The first couple of months, the first few months, obviously, especially when it's your first baby, were just like, you know, I was just at home 24/7 in my joggers, breastfeeding and looking after the baby and just getting used to having a baby. And obviously all of this sense of loss of identity was still with me, and I was like, wow, I'm literally just like a mom now. And it kind of got me a little bit down, if I'm honest with you. It was something that I did struggle with. I really was like, wow, this is it now? Like I am just a mom. But then as time went on and Lola got a little bit older, and I got better at being a mom and knowing, you know, like just understanding her needs a lot more, I started slowly doing things and putting things into my lifestyle that made me feel like me again. And over the last few months I've definitely got to a much better place where I feel a lot like me. And there's probably 5 things I've done, and I've broken it down for you guys. The first thing would be, when I go for a walk, rather than just staying in my joggers or in my pajamas and just putting a coat over the top, which I could easily do and no one would bat an eyelid, I make an effort. I would put on a pair of cargo pants or a pair of like relaxed fit jeans. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not putting on heels or skinny jeans or anything like that, but a little bit more than what I might wear in the house, just because it gives me a way to put an outfit together, which I really enjoy. It makes me feel good about myself, like it gives me an opportunity to take a little bit of a picture for social media. So those are the things that made me feel like me again. Now let's be real, most moms, when they're in the house, you know, in their joggers 95% of the time, or in their pajamas or whatever. Like, I get it, I am exactly the same, and that's totally fine. Like, I feel fine doing that. Like, that's kind of me anyway, because as soon as I'd get home from work, I'd put on my joggers or whatever. So that's kind of how that's not, you know, that part is fine. But when I leave the house, I always find that when I put on something like normally like a bit of street style, because that's kind of my style, I just feel good, and it made me feel like me again. And also at the weekends, whenever I do go around to friends or we're doing anything, I will just be a bit more dressed up. I even put a bit more makeup on. Like previously, when I didn't have Lola, I probably was a bit more chilled and didn't put on makeup at the weekends or dress up much at the weekends, because Monday to Friday I would put on makeup and dress up. But right now, being on maternity leave, my life is a little bit more flipped around. So Monday to Friday, where I don't really wear makeup and I'm a lot more relaxed in my clothing, at the weekend, if I am going around to a friend's house or we're seeing friends to go for a, you know, Sunday roast or something, I'll make a bit more of an effort. I'll put a bit of makeup on, I'll do my hair, and I'll put a bit of an outfit on, just because Monday to Friday I don't really get a chance to do that. So, you know, and that again makes me feel like me again. Number 2 is self-care. Now, as a mom, we all know, and if you guys are moms, self-care normally comes right at the bottom of our priority list. However, for me, washing my face every single day and brushing my hair, even if it's just into a ponytail, is something I do religiously every single day. I always find a few minutes in the morning to do those 2 things, and that helps me, kind of sets me up for the day. So when if I do spot myself in a mirror anywhere, I just don't feel like crap, to be honest with you. It makes me feel like, okay, I'm good, like my skin's clean, my hair's not neatly tied back, and I'm good. So a little bit of self-care definitely helps me feel like me again. And also, like, just to tie in here, a little bit of kind of organization. Like, I like to be very organized. Like, when I'm at work, I have a schedule, I have meetings, I have, you know, things that how I organize my day, and I kind of do the same at home. It just makes me feel like me again. So I will have a routine. In the morning, I will wash my face, brush my hair, I'll go into the kitchen, make sure that all the dishes are done, feed Lola her breakfast, and so on and so on. I set myself a little bit of a routine throughout the day, and Lola doesn't always want to stick to a routine because she'll go sleep at any time. But between those times, I will definitely try and do things like, I'll come in here and organize, you know, bits in here that, you know, if I've bought things and I want to just sort things out in here. Again, things that just make me feel like me again, like organizing, sorting, they're kind of things. Like, sitting around is not me. That makes me feel the least like myself, and that's how I felt like when I felt the worst, was when I sit around a lot and I feel like I really lose myself like that. That's just not my personality. I'm a very active, like, you know, on the go kind of person, so I have to keep doing that. And if that's in the house, then that's fine. Like, that, you know, it's not going into central London and being in an office, so I try and bring those kind of things, organisation things, into my house. Number 3 is something I touched upon a little bit earlier, about spending time with friends. Now, I think this is really important, spending time with adults and having social time. And one thing just to add to this is doing it without the baby, if possible. Now, I get it, if you've got a baby, it's very hard to kind of just leave them, but I've got a very supportive, helpful husband, so if I do want to have a little bit of time with one of my friends to go for a brunch, like you might have seen in my previous video, or go to the gym, or, you know, go for a coffee with a friend without the baby, I think that's really important, because you can have a bit of adult conversation. You can, you know, you've not got a baby constantly there, like, you know, needing you. You can just relax, and that kind of helps you decompress and just, you know, just feel like yourself again. And I think it's really important to do that, because your mental health when looking after a baby is really important, because it's really fragile. A baby can push your buttons like nothing else can. So I think resetting yourself and having some adult time and spending time with the most important thing, positive people in your life, is really important. And try to do it without the baby. And if not possible, if you always have to take the baby with you, then take the baby, but go and spend time with people you care about, people you love, and people that are positive, you know, people and influences in your life. Now, number 4 is a funny one, but it's cooking. I love to cook. I love to eat as well, but I love to cook. So when Lola was first born, I didn't do a lot of cooking because there wasn't a lot of time. I was just very overwhelmed and, you know, busy with a baby. But as she's gotten older and a little bit more independent, and I can put her in her buggy or she'll play independently, I spend a bit more time cooking now, and something I absolutely love, and you know, makes me feel happy. I like the process of cooking. I find it therapeutic. I'll put on a YouTube video, like a crime documentary, and I'll be off in the kitchen, and then I'll get all the dishes done. I mean, you know, Lola permitting, if she doesn't cry, and I'll get all the dishes done, clean up, and then I'll eat and make myself and my husband a lovely meal, and that's something I really enjoy doing. And then number 5 is going to the gym. I have been going to the gym for many years, and it's something that is a part of my every week routine. I go to the gym around 4 to 5 times a week. I do weight training. I love it, and at the moment I'm going around 4 times a week, and I go for about an hour to an hour and a half depending on our schedules, you know, mine and my husband's schedule and the time that I've got available. But I find it such an important part of my day. It gives me a bit of time to myself. It gives me thinking time. I also see friends at the gym, a bit of adult conversation. But I have a workout. It makes me feel good. My body is getting back to how it was. Now, I'm not, you know, completely there, but the stronger I get, the more I get back to my old body, the better I feel about myself. And that is a big part of my identity. Being strong and fit and healthy is a part of who I am, and I want to get back to it. Just because I've had a baby doesn't mean I have to become like, let myself go. I don't see why, you know, I can't, you know, go back to the body I had, and going to the gym is a part of that. So I really enjoy it. So, you know, if you enjoy it, then you got to do it, right? So that makes me feel like 100% like, you know, myself again. And I did say there was kind of 5 things that have helped me feel like myself again, but I guess the underlying thing of all of this, and this can be number 6, or just something that I've definitely found really helpful, is going back to social media, connecting with you guys. I started doing YouTube in 2011, 9 years ago, and I started so I could connect with people all around the world and be kind of someone that can help inspire, motivate, and be someone that's helped you guys, give advice and whatever that might be. But I'd kind of lost confidence in social media, and while I was pregnant, as you guys may or may not know, I didn't post for the entire time I was pregnant and for the first few months. So I think most people didn't even know that I was pregnant. I just disappeared off the face of this earth on social media, and that was tied in with this. I lost my confidence and I lost who I was. I just was really scared, and I'm now not scared to admit it, and I was back then. I was so scared to even start showing my body changing, and I was just scared. And that's why I think social media has helped me kind of come back to feeling like myself again, like posting on YouTube, posting regularly Insta stories with outfits and cooking and food, and all of that is just who I am, and that's my life, and it's made me feel really good and strong again, and you know, slowly getting back to who I am and who I was, and the identity that I had created. So like I said, it definitely took me a few months after Lola was born to sort of start putting these steps into place, because I think the first few months are always quite crazy with a newborn baby, but after maybe 3 months or so I started doing those steps, and I'm definitely getting back to feeling like my old self again. And of course I absolutely adore Lola. I would not change it for the world. Like, she's definitely made me a lot better person. But I think you can't help how you feel sometimes, and that's just how I felt, and this is just an honest kind of video for you guys, because I just wanted to put it out there. If it helps anyone, if anyone's feeling like this and you think, oh man, I've really lost myself, or I feel like I'm losing myself, I really hope this video reassure you that actually there are things that can be done to help you feel like your old self again. So please don't lose your confidence or anything like that. You definitely can take steps like I have to find yourself again. And in July I go back to work, and I think I'll probably start feeling like my old self even more, because I'll be back into that kind of routine of traveling into London and meetings and getting dressed every day in a nice outfit and putting on makeup. But my priorities have changed now. I have a baby, and Lola is my priority, so they'll be picking her up from nursery, or if she's sick or whatever, she will be my priority. However, I think I definitely feel like a lot like myself again, but probably a better version. I think I'm definitely more patient and selfless and more caring, and I think that those changes, the changes that have happened with having a baby, have just probably made me a better person. I have a new self identity, and you know, it's a version of the old version of me with a little bit of new stuff with having a baby, but you know, and maybe a little bit chubbier, but I think overall I've definitely started to find myself again, and like I said, going back to work will probably help that as well. And I think the most important part of this is acceptance, accepting the fact that life is never going to be the same again. Life is different now. Once you have a baby, it is different, but that doesn't mean that you lose yourself. You just have to adapt, and that's what I've done. I've adapted my lifestyle now around a baby. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and I really hope that if this has helped anyone that's feeling like this, and I've shown that, you know, there is a way back to feeling like yourself again, and it's definitely possible, because I've definitely, you know, I'm not all the way there, but I'm on the way. So thank you for watching, and please do comment below if you've got any more questions, if I've missed anything out, if there's anything more you want to know on. Either send me a message on Instagram or obviously comment below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Love you guys loads. Mwah! Bye.